I started out with a dream, turned it into a thing, turned it into a goal. Po' boys diesel, look where we are. Yeah, we ready to fight, we ready to roll. Fighting the cancer, fight for the goals. Cold that we roll, for Mama Po. Shout out to Missy, shout out baby Po. Can't do it alone, it's all part of the craft. If you viewing at home, then you part of the family. Yeah, it's Po' boys diesel, BWB, the dragon drop duel, black smoke in DIY.
Let's get started and let the po roll.
What's going on, co-rollers? Po' boys coming at ya. Hey guys, we got another video. This time we're working back on the battle axe, so stay tuned because we're gonna hit it hard today as much as we can. Got a little bit of break on the weather, so let's see how it goes. See you in a bit. Alright guys, so we're back on the battle axe. We got to do some work here. So you guys know we had pulled out the turbo, pulled out a few things, the H-pop and turbo pedestal. And you know, we're just trying to get little by little at her. You guys know as well that we installed a new water pump and new damper and the low pressure oil pump, as well as the belt there from Gates. And I don't know, I think I'm gonna hit it as much as I can, you know, granting that the weather keeps up with us. But yeah, we definitely got some big work to do. And you know what, I think we're gonna start over by removing these injectors. And yes, I know we just did a injector removal from over there, Pegasus. We removed the injectors so we could send them out to Full Force Diesel and get a new set redone, you know, and they're back. So now it's time to remove the injectors on this truck, on the battle axe, so that way we can install the new injectors, the 180/30s. So I think we're going to start with that part there. There's a lot of cleaning that we still need to do in here. So, you know, by getting those out of the way, we can put the valve covers back on and all that good stuff, and cover as many oil plugs that we have open up, and, you know, give it a good wash, because this area here is just a little bit disgusting, to be true about it. So, yeah, I say we go for it. Let's go. Let's do it. Alright guys, so we're gonna start over here on the driver's side, and we're gonna start removing obviously the valve cover. Got a bolt right here, a nut right here, got some here, some over here, which is behind the doghouse, which many times it's kind of cool to just remove this, replace the O-rings whenever, you know, you're gonna put it back or whatever. But yeah, we got some back here. The hardest one is always the one in the very back here. That one's quite a headache, but yeah, we always get it no matter what. It's just a matter of you know, having patience, taking your time, and actually looking at what you're doing, and eventually you'll get it out. We also got some down here, as you can see. I'm pointing there with the extension. Got one here also, one over here, one over here. And like I said, this one here is much like the one that's in the back. So we just kind of got to mimic what we're going to do back here. Obviously, we got the firewall on our way. We got some of the wiring harness on the way. So we're going to try to make it as easy as possible for us so that we can get this part here taken care of. But I'm not going to bore you guys. You guys have seen this a few times already with me. So I'm going to go ahead and put you all on time lapse. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, now I just had a big battle with that screw, or that bolt. It was the last one on the very back of the driver's side valve cover, and I just realized why. Let me show you. So you guys can see here, this whole area has been battered basically. Possibly with, prior removals and stuff. You can see it's all out of shape. And my socket just wouldn't fit. It's got all this stuff in there, so the socket wouldn't fit. And to top it off, the bolt, it ain't completely rounded off, but it is starting to get rounded off. So that's what made it so difficult to pull out. But as you guys can see, we have the valve cover off. There. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out that gasket and start pulling out these injectors right here. We'll probably have to make a real quick trip eventually to the auto parts store so I could get a fluid evacuation tool. But let's see how it goes. I just don't want to make a mess and just leave the plugs out and all that and give it a start. No. I don't feel like messing with all that. So yeah, let me cut it here for now so I could swap over to the next view. See you in a bit. Alright boys and girls, so I had to take a little break. I am drenched in sweat and was getting a little bit dizzy, so I went ahead and grabbed some more water, make sure I'm hydrated. But yeah, I'm going to continue working on this before the rain comes. As you guys can see, some big clouds over there right above us as well. But yeah, I'm going to try to give it my best to get everything done as soon as possible. Let's go. Alright guys, so now we're going to hit the passenger side. See if we could get to those other injectors, get it all set up. Let's go. Alright guys, so we went ahead and took out all the bolts for the valve cover. Sounds like I got a wasp roaming around. The bolt that does hold the oil measuring stick, the dipstick, there we go. The bolt that holds the dipstick together with the little bracket was actually stripped out. And I tried in many different ways to get it out, but it's just too stripped out. And apparently whoever put it there last definitely torqued it down so much that there was no way. I even hit it with the impact. I tried anyway. It was just spinning because it's all ate up. But it ended up breaking the dipstick tube and the dipstick, everything. So something to call somebody to get some. And I have to get another one. No biggie. I was planning on doing a new dipstick anyway, because that one did have like a kink down yonder, and I just don't like fighting with a dipstick. Should be simple, right? Anyway, let's get back to it. Alrighty guys, so we got all the injectors, well, they're still on there, but they're loose. They're just draining down. This is the passenger side, and over here you can see the ones on the driver's side. They're also removed. So we're gonna let those drain out for a little bit, and we'll jump to the next step. This is how we do it. Alright guys, so we got all the 8 injectors out, as you guys could see right here. They're being held by my lovely assistant, the milk crate. What should we call her? I think you guys should comment below and let me know what we should call the milk crate. She is my lovely assistant after all. She's always holding stuff up for me. Anyway, as you guys can see, these are all AD injectors, except with the the back one on the driver's side is an AE. That's E for Echo. So you got Alpha Echo. All the other ones are Alpha Delta, Alpha Delta, Alpha Delta, Alpha Delta. All of them. So yeah, we got them out. Now let's see what other mess we could get into with this thing. Alright, cool rollers, so as you guys seen, we already got the injectors out, and as you were able to see on the time lapse, we also went ahead and drained all the oil or fuel that might be inside the cylinders. We don't want to have a condition of hydrolocking in there while we're trying to start her up. And I guess it's time to put these puppies in. Yeah, it's that time. Let's get to it. I don't care what time it is. Let's go. Alrighty. There we go. Let's get these bad mamma jammas in there. Now, as you guys may know, these are 180 cc with 30 over nozzles. So very, I think it's a 1.5 stage, something like that. Keep in mind, guys, I'm putting this truck together is basically, like I say all the time, this is basically going to be a tow rig slash parts getter shop truck with a little bit, just a little bit of oomph. And you got to understand that this engine, being a 2002, more than likely has the powdered metal rods, so I don't want to take it over, a certain limit. However, I want to make sure I have the potential of, in case of emergency, you break the glass, switch the switch and let her eat. If it comes to that, at that point, I'm willing to sacrifice the engine. I am very competitive, I'll be honest with you guys. It's not something that I like to do, but it is something that I have instilled in me. I'm pretty sure most of y'all do also. Alrighty, so let's start up with these here. Get the first one in. Ooh, they sure look pretty. They sure look pretty. Now guys, you got to keep in mind, these are single shots, right? Your single shots going into a truck that comes originally with dual shots. So we have to be mindful about that because we need tuning in order for it to work properly. Tuning is very, very essential when it comes to changing your injectors, especially if you're doing other upgrades. At this level, to be honest with you, and I'm pretty sure even the companies, the injector manufacturers will tell you that at this point, a 180, more like a 160, but a 180/30, it's good, you know, without having to program. If you are using, you know, the proper injector, like for example, if you're putting them on an OBS, single shot injectors, 160 over whatever, like 30 or 160 with the regular size nozzle, you shouldn't have any problems with, or needs of tuning it. And but if you are going over to a late model, like you know, 99 and up, let's say it that way, a Super Duty, then you are going to need to do some tuning regardless to use the single shot. So that way the computer basically knows, hey, you know, it's a different type of injector, so it's a different type of way to what do you call it, to control it. And that's where the programming steps in. Now, I know you guys are not seeing me on the screen right now, but I'm actually giving the injector an ATF bath. I like to use automatic transmission fluid every time I install a new injector. To me, it seems to work wonderful. I make sure that all the rings are nice and coated, as well as the body, even the nozzle, even though it's going to get burnt out once, you know, you start up the truck. That's where you get a lot of smoke anyway. But to me, the transmission fluid tends to do wonders when you're installing it. It makes it a whole lot nicer, a whole lot easier. All right, let's put this bad boy in first, just like so. All right, now I'm just gonna lay them over it. I'm gonna put them in and just lay them over the top like that, because once I'm ready to push them in, that's where I'll climb on top of the truck a little bit just so I can get some leverage, so I'm able to push the injector further in and have it seat properly. Alright, let's get a little ATF in here, this one too. Now, if you guys are wondering what type of oil or transmission fluid I'm using, what type of ATF, well, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm using Fram. Is what I had laying around. It doesn't matter what brand. Just make sure it's, you know, good fluid, clean. We do have the washer yet. Yes, like so. Set it right there. Jump over to the next one. Let's get a bath on this one too. Take the nozzle cover off. That. Set it over here. And let's do it over here. And that. Alright. Let's put this next one in now. Remember, guys, keep in mind you have a lot of little O-rings, okay? So make sure you kind of level everything right where you want it to go. That way you're not trying to twist on it once it's seated in. You may have to, but the more you avoid it, the better. Pull the next one out here. I do like the fact that these injectors do come pretty well lubricated. So big shout out to Full Force Diesel. These are Full Force Diesel injectors, just in case y'all were wondering. Although I just showed you the box, so I'm pretty sure you guys already know. And I'm just repeating myself. Alright. Get the little nozzle cover off. Let's get this one. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied to you guys. My apologies. It ain't Fram, it's O'Reilly stuff. O'Reilly ATF. I thought it was Fram. My bad. Hey, I came clean. I told you guys. I told you the truth. No need for lies here. Alrighty. Set this one in. Like so. Make sure that armature is over the top bolt. It looked pretty straight to me. Let me get a rag. Alright. Okie dokie. Well, my hand just got a transmission flush done. Seems like all gears are there. Alrighty. Now let's see. I want to climb up in here. Let's start with the closest one here. That way. Okay, so you want to make sure that the armature from that holds, let's call it the hold down, it goes over the top bolt, which I never remove. I usually just remove the bottom one because the top one slides over. And then we're just gonna make sure that she's nice and straight as could be. And then we're gonna give her a little ugga-dugga inward, holding that armature up that way we don't have any issues. Alrighty. Make sure that was good there. It's a little more ugga-dugga. Oh boy. Let me try it with my right hand. Yep. Just like so. Armature's in place. Very good. I usually come right after and give it a little tap with a dead blow or rubber mallet preferably. See if I can get this one in. Yeah, I felt that one. And the armature. Just make sure she slides over. Still needs a little bit more. This one's there, to be honest. Like I said, we'll go over it with either a rubber mallet or a lead blow. Just a little bit. one over like that. Let's give it a good push in. Alright, it's climbing time. This is where Pool Boy tries to hover over the whole entire engine bay here. Alright. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I have just hit the camera with my oxygen bottle. Alright. See that armature here? Feels pretty good, just a little bit below. Do it right. Oh, yeah. No, that wasn't me pushing with that noise. It was my back, so I got a little ouchie. Alright. Let's see the armature there. Looks about right. Oh, gilly. Let's come down again. And no, they're not properly seated yet. Like I said, we're gonna go over it. So, meanwhile, let's start on the other side. So, as you guys saw, we went ahead and pushed the injectors in, the new ones, 180/30s from Full Force. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the pull down bolts on the injectors. I'm probably gonna do the glow plugs while I'm at it. I always recommend that you put in a fresh set every time you do injectors and stuff like that. It's not very often we tend to go under the valve covers, but if you're already there, you might as well. Might as well take care of that, and it'll avoid you some extra work in the future. So, I'm waiting for a couple seconds here because Mrs. Poe is getting me a new bottle of oxygen. The other one just ran out, so she's getting me another one hooked up. And we'll go from there. Alright, let's get to it. Alright guys, so I love you all. God bless you. And remember,